everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome back to Direwolf20's Let's Play Episode 12. I just finished working on my sorting factory here using Red Power 2, and I didn't entirely love the way this system worked at the end here, so I made it a little bit more compact. As you can see, I think it looks a little bit nicer, a little bit less messy. Got my little thing here. Now the only problem with this design, and I kind of adjusted it before I started recording just to make sure you guys can see the problem here, is this pipe right here. So this retriever is going to pull things out of these chests and try and send it up this pipe here, but because this pipe is connecting to this machine, it's going to try and insert things in the side, and they'll land here in one of these blocks, and that would not be cool. We do not want that to happen. So the way we resolve this is to grab one of those stone covers. Stone covers, as you know, can be used to cover up your wiring and whatnot, but they also act if you place them on the side of a machine, or in between pipes or cabling, like so, and hold shift so you don't open the machine's interface when you do this. And look, it's blocking the piping from connecting to the machine. So stone covers can be used to make sure that wiring or tubing does not connect to machines. So that is pretty cool. So this system looks a little bit more clean and a little bit, tighter, nicer design. I still haven't covered up this flooring yet, but I will at some point soon. I'm just wanting to make sure I have all the sorting done that I want done here. I think everything's looking pretty good. My battery box is doing just fine. Might need to make another one of those eventually, but I think I'm producing more than enough power. And I never sealed up this hole. Haha. Cool. So, my sorting room is pretty much done. I do need to upgrade these guys to alchemical chests, which I might do at some point soon, but I've been neglecting my mining responsibilities. As you guys can tell, I'm pretty low on resources. I definitely have been using a bit of the stuff in my condensers here, and what I should really be doing instead of stealing these diamonds is letting these guys work up to the dark matter block stage. As you know, I've already got one of those right there, dark matter block hanging out, but I want to be able to build some equivalent exchange tools, so I'm going to go mine for a little bit, collect a bit more resources, and then I'm going to come back, and that's going to be the real first true test of how my sorting system works, is I'm going to drop all the stuff that I mine into my sorting system, and we'll see what happens. So let me just pop an orange portal down here. Make sure I come out here. I'm going to use this chest as like a temporary storage area. I'm just going to dump all the cool stuff I collect in this chest as I mine, and then when I get back, I'll be able to just transport it right over to here, and I'll kind of watch as everything goes through my system, and hopefully it'll work out pretty well. Alright guys, I'll be back once I've mined for a little bit. Before I do go mining, I should note that I made some glass fiber cables as well, and decided to put them in the flooring here underneath where I have, I'll show you here. I just replaced these, instead of gold wires, with glass fiber cables. Because the gold wires were so long, and because I only have 10 solar panels up there, I was actually using more energy than I was producing just to keep these machines running because of the energy loss in the gold cables. So I did, splurge, use some diamonds, and make some glass fiber cables. So now I should be producing a bit more than I'm using, so that'll be good. And maybe I should grab a generator here, and grab a piece of Mobius fuel. Because the 10 solar panels up there are doing alright for me, but I feel like I should just have a little bit of supplemental power in this MFE. So I'm going to throw some Mobius fuel into the generator, and Mobius fuel is going to produce a lot of juice for me. So the Mobius fuel from Equivalent Exchange does work in the generator for industrial craft, and produces quite a bit of energy. You can see my energy surplus starting to rise already. So this is just going to support, like, supplemental energy as needed. So, down to mine for me, and I'll be back, guys. I think before I go mining, it's time to build a destruction catalyst. This is a great little toy. I know how to make Mobius fuel, and I know how to make this flint and steel, but let's check out how to make a Nova catalyst. There it is. Okay, looks like I'm going to need 4 Mobius fuel, a piece of glowstone dust, a piece of TNT, and a piece of sandstone. Okay, cool. Why don't I see if I have the resources to make this? Let's see. I should have at least some gunpowder. And some sand. I'm sure I've got plenty of you. Glowstone dust. Do I have any of that laying around? I've got a bit. Probably enough for now. I'm going to need a bit more Mobius fuel than I currently have on me. My collector is cooking along rather well. Why don't I steal some out of the condenser? You can see Mobius fuel is going to be needed quite a bit. I'm debating whether I should build another collector sooner rather than later. I do want to get a few of them going rather soon. So let's build ourselves. I'll get out my Philosopher's Stone. Some TNT first. And the nice thing about this is I can go ahead and just create one TNT. Did I do that backwards? You know, a couple people have commented on how funny it is that, like, wow, alright, I'm a noob, hang on. There it is, TNT. Alright, yeah, a couple people have commented on how funny it is. I know so much about these mods, but I kind of fail sometimes when I'm doing vanilla Minecraft stuff. I think it's just because I've been playing with the mods so much that just doing stuff vanilla Minecraft, I kind of don't know as well as I probably should at this point. So let's see, can I just throw some gunpowder in here and target this TNT? Yeah, TNT is actually quite a bit of gunpowder in EMC value, isn't it? Okay, what if I just did this? I'm going to use Mobius fuel. Looks like a little less than 2 Mobius fuel to get my TNT. Alright, got a bit of this stuff here. Now let's go ahead and craft up some that good stuff. I need something like that and some sandstone, right? Oops. Okay. For you, for you. Ta-da! Nova Catalyst. Nice. The Nova Catalyst can be used just like TNT. It's a much bigger explosion radius. And you're guaranteed to get all the blocks that drop as a result of using the Nova Catalyst. But rather than just using the Nova Catalyst right now, I'm going to go ahead and put some of this stuff back where it belongs. And I'll even put my old TNT in there. I'll probably use that at some point in the future, I'm sure. Let's get myself piece of iron and a piece of flint. And I can't use this flint and steel because I've already used it a bit and it's got some damage on it. So combine these guys, there it is. And I can put this in the middle here, Mobius fuel on the sides, and the Nova Catalyst in the corners. And that'll get me the Destruction Catalyst. Those of you who have not seen this item, oh, it's cool. Can't wait to show it to you. So I want to get down to my mining tunnels, and I'm bringing some Mobius fuel down with me. I'm not bringing a terribly large amount, because I don't have a terribly large amount. I'm still using it to upconvert stuff. So most of the power items in Equivalent Exchange, like the Destruction Catalyst, require fuel to operate. And in this case, I'm bringing Mobius fuel with me. It's the highest fuel source, and it'll allow me to get the most bang for my buck, if you will. Let's head on down to our mining caves. And I seem to be having some luck around that level 10. So that's, what, here? I guess 8 is where I've been hanging out. So I've been mining down in those straight lines. So let's create a new mining node right here. And I'm going to even open up the ceiling a little bit for myself. And hey, iron, woot. And just to show you guys how this is going to work, I'm going to place the Mobius fuel down here so you can see it as I'm using it. So the Destruction Catalyst, I'm going to start right here, and I'm going to right-click on the wall with the Destruction Catalyst in my hand. And it cleared out a 3x3 block. Works pretty well. And if you hit R, you don't actually have to click on the block itself. You can just kind of click in space and it'll pretend there was a block there. So that's how the Destruction Catalyst works. Pretty spiffy. Now we can even take it one step further and charge the thing up. And you'll notice that I've already used at least one of my Mobius fuel. Let's charge this guy up. And it's the letter V to charge that guy. And hey, woo, gold. Don't mind me, I'm just going to mine some gold real quick before I show you the rest of this. Coal too. Alright, I'll get that coal in a minute once I show you guys how this works. So, fully charged and right-click on this wall face, and it mines a pretty deep and dark tunnel. Awesome. And you'll notice that it dropped all the items in discrete chunks on the ground. So instead of, dropping a ton of junk all over the place and making a big lag fest, it dropped them in groups and, like stacks all together. So I've already collected a good amount of resources, but you'll see that I quickly used up a lot of Mobius fuel. I'm going to need to produce a lot more if I want to use this as my primary mining method. So for now, I'm going to use a combination of the mining drill and the Mobius fuel and get things going. So I'm going to mine for a little bit with this. Maybe I'll keep the camera rolling just for a few minutes so you guys can see how I mine using the destruction catalyst. Making a big old mess all over the place, but I'll go collect that junk in a moment. I do need some more redstone. I've been using a lot of it to upgrade to Mobius fuel. So the way I usually like to mine is just, go down here, hit the destruction catalyst, and then any ores that become available to me as a result of using the destruction catalyst get mined. Ta-da! And a lot of ores to be got, as I can see. Sweet. Don't want to miss this lapis. Lapis is good stuff. Now you can see my inventory is quickly filling up. It's definitely a good thing I built that sorting system, otherwise I'd have a lot of work to do when I get back to my base. And it's also a good thing I have that portal gun, because I'm going to need to go back and forth between my base and here a bit often because of how much I'm mining now. So I'm basically increasing the speed at which I can mine, which is pretty nice. Alright, enough mining footage for now. I'll be back once I've collected a bit of resources. Alright guys, got a pretty full inventory here, ran out of Mobius fuel, gonna head back to my base. And you can see I've been in and out here a couple times, replacing some of the goodies that I collected and dumping them onto this chest here. So, wow, pretty full chest if I do say so myself. Quite a lot of cobblestone collected, so I'm gonna probably just manually sort that stuff out. But I'll grab a little bit. Now I'm going to grab all the ores that I have, and I'm testing this by grabbing, I'll leave some of the redstone in there, but I want to make sure I have a good amount of stuff. Leave some nickelite behind. That should be cool. So I'm pretty much running a test right now, and one thing I should do before I complete this test is, let's drop off something I don't need to do anything with. My cocoa beans in there. I want to grab a chest. Now remember, there's one minor issue with my sorting system right now, which I haven't resolved just yet. And if I walk over here, I'll show it to you guys. I don't have an excess spot where things go if there's no room for them. So I'm just going to put something right there. So if there's no room in those macerators, there's nothing that, I don't know what'll happen exactly. So why don't I grab one pneumatic tube. This way, if all my macerators happen to be full, it'll go in there like that. And this will be like an overflow chest. And at some point, I'm probably just going to, route this back and around and come back into here. But, we'll get there when we get there. So my retriever's ready. It's going to pull out all the copper and iron dusts that get macerated. But I do also have to adjust my sorting machine here. Let's move these guys out of the way for now. The dark green bar is going to need to be iron, gold, tin. You know what? I should make this guy red over here. My sand, dirt, and cobble like that, because I'm probably going to need more than one line for the dark green. There it is, dark green. So, tin. That is the same tin, isn't it? This is a different kind of tin, because, like a dummy, I didn't properly Alright, this is different copper here. Yeah, I didn't properly adjust the red power 2 settings, so I do have two different types of copper and two different types of tin in my world. Don't worry, they can be used interchangeably, but just as an FYI. I also need silver ore to be macerated. I think that's it. Let's see, I've got everything sorted here. This stuff's going here, this stuff's going to black. And I don't have gravel in here. I think I want gravel to go into the red chest as well. So why don't I grab myself a stack of gravel. Remember, I'm mostly testing my sorting machine right now. So, gravel in the red line, that should be good. And again, everything that it doesn't know what to do with is going to go to the white line. So I think everything looks good here. I'm going to go ahead and dump this stuff in and see what happens. So here goes nothing, guys. I'm going to dump all the junk that I have in my inventory into this chest. And it should start coming out and getting sorted appropriately. You can see the gold going in and getting macerated. And it's going to get pulled out by my guy here. This guy's still set to a 1 second interval, so that should be alright. And it does look like we're having a backlog of gold dust, so I might want to speed this process up a little bit. Make it a half second. That'll pull things out a little bit faster, but I want to make sure I'm not overloading my induction furnaces. It looks like it's alright, but now that I've sped it up to a half second, not too bad. I could dig down here real quick and adjust this guy. Let's make this as fast as it can be. 0.2 seconds. That way it'll pull out of the induction furnaces as fast as possible. Everything's sorting the way it should. So far, so good. And we're not really having too much of a backlog here, which is nice. We've got these two rotary macerators that aren't even doing any work, so that's cool. And that was my main concern. Am I going to have a backlog here, or what's going to happen? But it looks like so far everything's coming out clean. How's my chest doing? Not too bad. And of course I could speed this up if I wanted to, but again, this is just like a first run through to make sure everything's going properly. Oh yeah. I could maybe even speed this up a little bit. Let's make it 0.4 seconds. Oh, there goes all my redstone heading towards the black chest. Awesome. All my items are coming through where they belong. Maybe I want to speed this process up a little bit as well. Let's make this like a 0.5 second. Because obviously running at 1 second at a tick, you know, was I had plenty of macerator ability to keep up with that. So I'm not too worried about that. So now I'll go every half a second and we'll see how it handles all this copper coming in. So far, so good. So the nice thing about this system is I can quickly and manually adjust how fast things are running through it. I can also adjust what kind of things run through it by just adjusting my filters and my retrievers and all that good stuff. So copper is running through and getting cooked. And the nice thing is I can fit 2 slots in these induction furnaces. And uh-oh, looks like I'm running into a problem. Power level. Let's go sleep through the night so we have some power going on here, and I should probably even grab some Mobius fuel to run my generator. Because that will definitely cause a problem for me if I don't have enough juice. I never put my gravel in there either. So it's nighttime, need some help with the energy running through. And like I said, eventually I'll put some more solar panels up there, so I have bigger surpluses of energy, but for now I think we're cool. Especially with that generator surplus option. So let's see. Yep, definitely using a lot of stuff, but that's alright. We're refilling all the batteries in here. Oh yeah, look, my induction furnace is having trouble keeping up. But I've got a good amount of juice coming in now, both from my solar panels and from this generator. I think I'll be alright. I might need a little bit more power generation for this room, but see what happens. Uh-oh, about to request even more power because we need to macerate some stuff. I might need another generator. I'll be alright though. I don't have much more else to do. Even throw some emeralds in there too. I forgot to put those in. So this is me testing my system to make sure I have everything built properly. And it's not bad. The only issue I have right now is industrial craft power generation, but I'll be okay. Remember, it uses 16 energy units per tick to cook something, so I might even need a second generator here. Maybe I'll go build one of those right now real quick. And I'm going to need 410. Piece of copper cable, a couple pieces of redstone. I think that's all I need. Let's give it a quick build. Furnace, machine block, battery. I'll steal some Mobius fuel out of here. Now we should be cooking with gas. Remember, these guys produce 10 energy units per tick each now in the latest version of Industrial Craft. And I've got 10 coming in from my solar panels up on the roof. See, now we've got a surplus. And it's alright anyway, because all my machines are done. Did I pull everything out of this chest? I did. Woot. So, all my sorting has been completed. Let's see. All the cobble, sand, dirt, and gravel landed in there. Good. Looks like everything worked the way it was supposed to work, huh, guys? Nice. And these were the only items it didn't know what to do with. Which, like, you know, that's obvious, because I didn't put them in the sorting system. And to be honest with you, 9 times out of 10, you're not going to get these types of items. The only thing you might get is moss stone and flint, but that's alright. We're cool. So I think my sorting system worked rather nicely. I'm pretty happy with it. It kept up with the demands of the sorting machine's speed here, 0.5 seconds per tick. My rotary macerators didn't have much of a problem at all. Oh wait, I do not have silver dust in my retriever. So there's a little problem. Yep, didn't have silver dust in my retriever. See? I did find a little mistake. And remember, copper and tin will macerate down into copper and tin dust from Industrial Craft. There's no equivalent in those in Red Power 2. That's why I don't need 2 types of copper and 2 types of tin dust in the machines. But I do need the different types of ore, because like I said, I was kind of a noob and forgot to change the Red Power 2 config to not spawn its own types of copper and tin. So that's alright. So my sorting system looks pretty good, and I don't need these in here anymore, because that was just for testing purposes. So I can dump these in here. Not a bad bit of resources. Alright, let's wrap up this segment, and I'll be back in a moment to check something else out. I think it's time to build myself another one of these collectors. So why don't I grab one of the blocks of diamonds that I have produced here, and see if I can remember the recipe. I need some glowstone, don't I? Might even need a few more of those. I'm gonna Steal some Mobius fuel and convert it using a Philosopher's Stone. Glowstone in the target block, and look, I still have some EMC values from before, so I can even produce a bit. I'm just going to upgrade some, or downgrade, I guess, some Mobius fuel to Glowstone. That looks like I have enough now. Let's see if I can remember this recipe. Probably can. I need blocks of diamond. Alright, just glass on top, that's all. So, something like this. Oh yeah, I forgot. I need a furnace. Ta-da! A new energy collector. Woot. Place this guy right next to my other condenser. And the energy being produced from this collector is going to assist with the condenser. Why don't I grab myself some redstone to upgrade? I'm going to go grab it out of my sorting system here. Where did I have redstone at? I need to put some signs above these chests. So how's this thing working out, alright? Yeah, we're good here. Ta-da! Upgrade time, and I should target Mobius fuel, so that'll be good. Because all I really want these guys to produce at the moment is Mobius fuel. So a nice upgrade. Hooray! Now I'm producing twice as much Mobius fuel as I was before, and that's definitely going to help both with my condenser, with the generators back here, and with the power I need to run my destruction catalyst. And how are you guys doing? Producing quite a bit of power, as I can see. Thank you very much. Real quick, also notice a problem. I don't have silver ingots in my retriever. I should remedy that. Just grab a stack here, place one in there, and now my retriever should pull silver out for me. Sorry, Alaram. I forgot to account for silver. Should make its way to my blue chest here. And there they are. At some point, I might either move my chest area into this room and just have this be my primary storage room for all the goodies that I collect, or maybe I'll just do something. I don't know. I haven't figured out exactly how I want to do item storage just yet. Alright guys, before wrapping up this episode, I'm going to build one more machine here for you. It's time for me to upgrade the last item that I haven't upgraded yet. So I've got some redstone, refined iron, and I'm going to need some cables. Cables, there we go. Excellent, thank you. Also going to need, I think some tin here. Yep, going to need some of that. Alright, so, first thing I need to build is a cell. I get 16 empty cells with 4 tin. Easy enough. Then I need my good old friend the machine block. And I need a circuit. Thank you. Machine block, circuit, 2 empty cells, and some copper cables will give me the electrolyzer. Now, what is the electrolyzer? The electrolyzer acts as pretty much an energy buffer. Should probably take it out of the crafting table. For your storage devices. So I've got an MFE here, right? And I was charging up my backpack. And if I place the electrolyzer down next to the MFE, like so, I've just increased the amount of energy that this MFE can store. And how does that work? Well, it's got this neat little interface here, and I need some water cells. So why don't I go grab myself a bucket or two? I think I've got some over here in my miscellaneous junk. Now, if I combine some water with an empty cell, I get a water cell. And it uses the water out of the bucket. And I can place those water cells in the electrolyzer. Let's do that now. And you can see there's this little energy progress bar. What's happening is energy from the MFE is being pulled out, and stored in the electrolyzer's water cells as electrolyzed water cells. And that'll be done in just a minute. And what'll happen is, once the MFE drops low, down below a certain percentage, it'll start draining the power out of the electrolyzed water cells and convert them back to normal water cells. So I've pretty much just expanded the power storage that this MFE can handle. And it's a nice way to do it. However, there is another reason I'm doing water cells and electrolyzed water cells, because they're a component for one of the advanced machines I want to make. So why don't I grab myself some more water from my little lake outside. I'm telling you guys, I love this spawn. I mean, I'm hanging out right next to a lake, I've got a lava lake next to me, all kinds of great stuff. So let's open up our crafting table and get ourselves some water cells. Thank you very much. I'm going to grab a few more. I think I left a bucket inside. But that's enough for now. I'm going to place those guys in there as well. So you can see now, one of the water cells became an electrolyzed water cell. Sweet. And it's using the energy from the MFE to dump in there. And what's going to happen, like I said, if the MFE ever gets terribly low, it'll start draining power out of this electrolyzed water cell, which is pretty cool. But I'm going to let these guys finish converting, and I'll be back in a few minutes, because this will take a little while. Alright, while I'm waiting for that stuff to cook up, I might as well create my advanced machine that I'm going to need for this system. You can see I grabbed some of the carbon plates that I made earlier. I can throw my mixed metal ingots in there and get my advanced alloys, make my advanced machine. Sweet. And how's this guy doing, electrolyzer? We're up to 6, I'm going to need 7, so cool. Let me grab over here. Got a wrench in here somewhere, don't I? There it is. And let's get rid of this old hunky-dunky extractor junk. Adios, buddy. Really? Okay. Everything's good, everybody's happy. And here comes my 7th electrolyzed water cell, which is all I need. And I can do something like this. Advanced machine and extractor gives me the centrifuge extractor. This is your advanced machine version of the extractor. I will just... don't even need to do this, because the redstone current is flowing through this machine into this one, but just for aesthetic purposes, so that everything looks cool, why not? And I've now got my centrifuge extractor, and I can throw my sticky resin in there, and it's gonna, obviously it hasn't built up speed yet, but it's gonna have 3 output slots for rubber, which is cool. And I finally have my last advanced machine. Woohoo! I do at some point probably want to upgrade this electric furnace to an induction furnace and this macerator. And then what I can do is get rid of my low voltage transformer here and make this just a whole line of medium voltage. But for now it's alright. After all, I do have my automatic sorting system to take care of all the things I want to do. So, I think this is a good wrapping up point. Hope you guys have enjoyed checking out my Let's Play series. This has been episode 12. Looking forward to episode 13, where I think it's time for me to do a little bit more with Buildcraft. Time to automate some mining. You guys probably know what I mean by that. Alright, this is Direwolf20 signing off. Take it easy.